Hello, students. A very good morning to all of you, and I hope that you all are in good health and taking great care of yourself. Welcome back to our English class. As you know, students, that we are done with our grammar portion, that is chapter number 13 phrases and active passive voice from your grammar book, that is Adventures with Grammar and Composition. So, today we would be starting with the revision and we would be starting it with the course book New Pathways, Unit 5 Man and Machine, Section 1 The Diamond Maker. I hope that you remember the story of this chapter. So, we would be just discussing the summary briefly and then we would be moving ahead with the worksheet exercise, which I have already sent you the PDF for. Okay, we would be going through that worksheet today in this class. So let's start our class with the story The Diamond Maker. It is about a scientist who devoted many years attempting to make artificial diamonds. So the narrator is getting relief from his business work and he is gazing or he is having a look at the river Thames embankment near the temple. That is, it is an Essex street and there is a view of Waterloo Bridge and the towers of Westminster beyond. And there someone who looks like tramp, that means a person who looked like a parapet, suddenly starts the conversation with him. Despite his appearance, he talks like an educated businessman and he has a bag of what appears to be an uncut diamond, one which is as big as the tip of the thumb, and he offers to sell it for £100 to the narrator. But the narrator is quite suspicious because the way he used to look, he looked like a beggar, and the talks and the thing which he was having, which made him suspicion that it could not be a real diamond. The man tells him that he has spent years on the project of making diamonds. It was done secretly so that the others could not come to know, right? And others do not copy his work. And so he can sell his diamonds without it being known that they can be produced in large quantities. Because normally, as you all might be knowing, कि diamonds कहाँ मिलते हैं? They are found out from the coal mines, right? In a natural way. But here, this person knows the process how to make artificial or synthetic diamonds, and he didn't want anybody to know this secret so that he can make lots and lots of diamonds and sell it and become a rich person, right? But while he was carrying out experiments related to the making of diamonds, right, making of artificial diamonds, he ran out of money, whatever he had. Once he also worked as a teacher when he was just 21 years old, right? And now he is 32 and he has spent all his life in finding out the perfect temperature at which the diamonds can be taken out, right? So he talks about all his troubles and all the problems that he faced during these many years, around 17 years he spent for that project, and he just talks about all those things to the narrator just to convince him that he can buy the diamond for £100 so that he can go and buy new clothes and he can have a good life, right? And that was the only reason why he kept on talking, or why he kept on telling all the secrets which he had never shared before with anyone. He said that he ran out of money while he was conducting his experiments in the cheap lodgings in Kentish Town, and he also did various menial jobs. He put the mixture which might produce diamonds together with the dynamite in the cylinder too strong to burst. That means he took one cylinder in which he put all the mixture which would be converted into diamonds, right? And he put it in a cylinder along with the dynamite, but the cylinder was so strong that it would not burst. However, as he inspected the results, a neighbor in the lodgings house, मतलब उनके वो जहाँ पे ये एक्सपेरिमेंट्स कंडक्ट करते थे और वहीं पे रहते थे, ठीक है, कैंटिश टाउन में, तो वहाँ पर उनके बाजू में एक उनका जो नेबर था, राइट, he was kind of spying on him because he thought that he is doing something which is illegal, and obviously it can be considered as illegal because diamonds ऐसे artificially बनाए नहीं जाते हैं. ठीक है. So while he was about to complete the process and about to get his diamonds, at that moment the neighbor came over there and he thought that this person, the diamond maker, is an anarchist. That means he is doing something wrong against the law of the country, against the government of the country, and so he just called up the police. And the diamond maker had to run away from there, and he was left with nothing at that time. He had to abandon the lodging house, taking with him his diamonds which he had already टेकन आउट, बिकॉज पहले भी एक बार हो चुका था कि उसने एक बार ट्राई किया था पहले ही, बट एट दैट टाइम इट वॉज नॉट पॉसिबल. उस वक्त नहीं हुआ था उससे, मतलब जो भी प्रोसीजर था वो अच्छे से नहीं हुआ था. एंड जो टाइम लिमिट होता है वो टाइम लिमिट से पहले ही उसने डायमंड्स निकालने का ट्राई किया था, स्क्रैप करने का ट्राई किया था, एंड it didn't work out at that time. But now this time it was like he got the diamonds but he was left in a state कि अभी उसके पास घर भी नहीं है. He is moving around like a tramp. The police also wants him, right? And he cannot sell the diamonds because nobody is ready to believe him just because of the way he looked. अगर एक beggar diamonds बेचने निकलेगा तो कोई क्यों खरीदेगा उसके पास से, right? Because if he is having diamonds that means he should be rich, he should be well dressed. अभी वो सारी चीज़ें तो है नहीं, तो nobody is ready to buy the diamonds from him. And also he was left with nothing, only the diamonds, right? And he says that इसीलिए वो नरेटर को बताता है कि इसीलिए मैं इस कंडीशन में हूँ जिस कंडीशन में तुम्हारे सामने हूँ. बट वॉट एवर आई एम टेलिंग यू इज़ ट्रू. The diamonds which I am showing you are artificial and nobody can make it out कि ये artificial diamonds है, those are not the real ones, right? ये सारी बातें वो narrator को सुनाता है, but narrator was quite suspicious about what he was saying, right? And he also tells that he once went to the diamond store, ज्वेलर्स के पास गया था, वहाँ पे वो रुका ताकि वो उसको बेच सके, लेकिन उनको लगा कि ये बेगर है एंड दे कॉल्ड अप द पुलिस. एंड वंस ही वेंट टू द पर्सन हु सेल्स एवरीथिंग इन ब्लैक, राइट? वो मतलब ब्लैक मनी जो बोलते हैं उस तरह से बेचने का ट्राई किया उसने. तो वहाँ जाके उसने जब वो आदमी को दिखाया, ही वॉज अ बैड पर्सन ऑब्वियसली, राइट? सो उसने वो डायमंड रख लिया एंड देन ही सेड दैट इफ़ यू वॉन्ट योर डायमंड बैक यू नीड टू कॉल द पुलिस. सो that's how he lost one of his diamond. Now he doesn't know where to go, what to do, and that's why he was ready to sell that diamond just for 100 pounds to the narrator. But narrator was not that rich, and although he started believing in what he was saying, क्योंकि उसने सारी चीज़ें बता दी उसको, अपना सारा सीक्रेट बता दिया उसने, प्रोसीजर भी बता दिया इनफैक्ट कि हाउ टू मेक डायमंड्स, राइट? सारी चीज़ें उसने बता दी. But the thing was that still he was little bit suspicious कि ऐसे अंधेरे में, रात के अंधेरे में, right, without even knowing full information about the person who is selling, जो ट्रैम्प जैसा दिखता है, जो बेगर जैसा दिखता है, right, उसके पास से डायमंड खरीदना is not at all sensible thing, right? A person with wisdom won't do that. And he also didn't have that much money to buy the diamond, right? So he said that do one thing, आप कल मेरे ऑफिस आ जाओ, फिर वहाँ से वहाँ पर हम लोग बात कर लेंगे एंड आई विल ऑल्सो पे यू द मनी. बट द डायमंड मेकर इज़ नॉट रेडी टू बिलीव हिम. ही थॉट कि तुम मुझे कल ऑफिस बुलाओगे और साथ में पुलिस को भी बुला लोगे, एंड यू थिंक दैट आई एम थीफ एंड यू वुड मेक मी फॉल इन द ट्रैप, राइट? सो उसको जो नरेटर है वो उसको बोलता है एक काम करो, तुम ये मेरा कार्ड रखो एंड कीप द अश्योरेंस ऑफ माई गुडविल. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेल एनी थिंग टू एनी वन. कम वेन एवर यू वॉन्ट टू, राइट? बट द डायमंड मेकर वॉज क्वाइट हेजिटेंट अबाउट इट And so he just wrote the letters to him twice, and he also went to his house once, but nothing worked out, because when he went to narrator's house, he was not there, and then he just left from that place and he was nowhere to be seen. सो कहीं ना कहीं जो नरेटर है उसको भी ऐसा लगा कि उसने अपनी लाइफ का बहुत बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी खो दिया है. ही ऑल्सो रिग्रेटेड दैट डिसीजन that he didn't took the opportunity of getting that diamond which was just 100 pounds, right? और उसको ऐसा लगता है कि अब तो शायद उसकी कोई वैल्यू भी नहीं होगी. क्या पता वो जो आदमी था who claimed कि मैंने डायमंड बनाया है, he might have died, और उसके जो डायमंड्स है वो कहीं पर पड़े होंगे ऐसे ही, right? So this is the story and I hope that you understood it properly. So now we would be moving ahead with the worksheet exercise. So I request you student to open your workbook, page number 59, worksheet 5. So let's see students, this is worksheet 5, man and machine, and in this the first exercise is reading the passage and choosing the best answer to fill in the blanks. So students, I hope that you can do it by yourself. Here the answers are already given and I have already sent you the answers, so I hope that you might have written the answers in your worksheet. And the second exercise is also the same. You have to fill the puzzles given over here. The hints are given related to science fiction across and down, and you have to fill up the answers in this puzzle box. Okay, so complete the crossword along with the answers which I have already given you, and let's move towards the next exercise, which is related to meanings in the vocabulary. So we will see that. Here are some words that describe certain personality traits that people have. Personality traits means the behavior of a person, or you can find out the character of a person from the personality traits. So let's see the word and its meaning. The first one is adaptable. Adaptable का मतलब होता है a person who is not fixed or rigid. That means he is ready to adjust wherever he goes. Okay, and she or he can change in order to deal with new situations. The second one is clumsy. Clumsy means a person who moves about in a very awkward and unskilled way that annoys others. Clumsy means one who roams around in a dirty form, and nobody likes that kind of person. The third one is arrogant. Arrogant means a person who is proud in a very unpleasant way because she or he does not have much thought for the people. That means for him, he is the only person who is important, right? And he behaves in a very arrogant way. The next one is affable. Affable means a person who is pleasant, friendly and very easy to approach. मतलब जो friendly होता है वैसे इंसान को हम affable कहते हैं. मतलब he is possessing the personality trait that is affable. Next one is impulsive. Impulsive means a person who does not think before he or she acts, and one who follows his or her feelings, right? That means he carries out the action without thinking what could be the consequences. The next one is spendthrift. That means a person who is careless with money and ends up wasting it. Next one, frivolous. Frivolous means a person who is always light-hearted and rarely serious about anything. That means quite a bubbly person, you can say. He is quite light-hearted and takes life quite easily, and that's why we can also call them irresponsible too. And the last one is pompous. Pompous means a person who tries to show that she or he is more important than others by using long and formal sentences while speaking. For him or her, she or he is the only one who is important in this whole world. So students, I hope that you got to understand the meaning. So now we would be moving ahead with our grammar portion from the worksheet, that is relative clauses. So students, I hope that you remember what is relative clause, right? A relative clause. So a relative clause modifies a noun or a pronoun by providing extra information about it. That means a relative clause can also be called adjective clause because वो आपके सेंटेंस का नाउन या प्रोनाउन जो है सब्जेक्ट की जगह पर या ऑब्जेक्ट की जगह पर उसके बारे में एक्स्ट्रा इन्फॉर्मेशन देता है. एंड अ रिलेटिव क्लॉज बिगिंस विद अ रिलेटिव प्रोनाउन जैसे कि हु, whom, whose, that, which या फिर रिलेटिव एडवर्ब जैसे कि when, where एंड why. और रिलेटिव क्लॉज में भी एक सब्जेक्ट और एक वर्ब होता है. एंड इट फंक्शंस लाइक एन एडजेक्टिव जैसे कि मैंने आपको बोला रिलेटिव क्लॉज आर ऑल्सो नोन एज एडजेक्टिव क्लॉज एंड इट आंसर्स द क्वेश्चंस लाइक ऑफ व्हाट काइंड, हाउ मैनी, विच वन, राइट. ऐसे आंसर्स मिलते हैं. और आपको याद रखना है कि कौन से वाले रिलेटिव प्रोनाउन किसके लिए यूज़ होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी यूज़ हु फॉर ह्यूमन्स, राइट. हम किसके लिए यूज़ करते हैं? ह्यूमन्स के लिए. फिर दैट और विच ये दोनों हम ज़्यादातर यूज़ करते हैं थिंग्स या फिर एनिमल्स के लिए. ओके. एंड वी यूज़ whose टू शो possession या belonging. कौन सी चीज़ किसको बिलोंग करती है वो दिखाने के लिए हम यूज़ करते हैं whose. एंड वी यूज़ whom फॉर पर्सन इन द प्लेस ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है. जब हम सेंटेंस के ऑब्जेक्ट के बारे में बात करते हैं जो पर्सन है तो हम whom यूज़ करेंगे. ठीक है. So we'll see the exercise given over here. We need to complete the sentences by filling in suitable relative pronouns in each blank. For example, the first one, the boy who topped the class comes from my hometown, right? The boy who topped. We are talking about the boy over here. The novel which was judged the best is actually quite mediocre. My uncle, whose daughter lives in France, is very ill. The lady whom you saw at dinner tonight is a famous person. Here we have used whom because you saw the lady. तो lady हमारे लिए object है sentence का, है ना, इसीलिए हमने whom यूज़ किया है. The rumor that the prime minister had resigned turned out to be true. So you can just see कि हम that और which यूज़ करते हैं things या फिर एनिमल्स के लिए. यहाँ पे वैसे एनिमल की बात नहीं हो रही है. एंड वी यूज़ होम फॉर द ऑब्जेक्ट एंड हुज फॉर द पोजेशन. नाउ you can see this exercise. Fill in the blanks with suitable relative pronouns. So let's see the answers for that. Have you ever visited a place that made you shiver on a warm day? Woodchester Mansion in Gloucestershire, England, is a building which has the ghostly reputation. यहाँ पे आप which की जगह पर that भी यूज़ कर सकते हो. ठीक है. Even on a bright sunny day, there's no doubt that the mansion looks like the classic haunted house with its Gothic architecture. The dark windows of this huge stone building, which overlooks the Woodchester Park, gives it an eerie look. According to the legend, Sir Rupert de Langside, who inherited Spring Park after poisoning his cousin, once owned the estate. Several locals have reported seeing a headless horseman who is believed to be Sir Rupert. A coffin has also been observed hovering above one of the estate's lakes, which possibly belonged to a Dominican pilgrim who killed himself by drowning. More recently, in February 2004 and September 2005, people have reported seeing a black dog inside the mansion itself, which appeared to coincide with the deaths of individuals closely associated with the building. People who have dared to enter the mansion on the moonlit nights have reported hearing strange noises and feeling an invisible presence. So here students, you might have understood how to use the relative pronouns. Now we need to complete the sentences by filling in the appropriate relative clause given below in the box. Be careful because the same relative clause might appear to fit more than one sentence. So here students, we have the sentence, and in this sentence we need to set the sentences given over here, right? ये जो sentences है वो हमें उस वाली exercise में set करने हैं. So let's see the answers. The first one is, the study of evolution tells us. What does it tell us? How we are all related to each other with our common ancestors. So that is answer number 1. The fact dash shows that she was afraid. So the answer would be, the fact that she never spoke up shows us that she was afraid. The poor victim did not know whom to blame for the troubles he had gone through. Right? The poor victim did not know whom to blame for the troubles he had gone through. The next one, the boy dash has been found. The boy whose photograph was in the papers has been found. The next one, the arguments dash are often simplest. So the answer would be, the arguments which we find strongest are the simplest. Next one, the teachers said they simply couldn't understand why she always came late to the class. The reason dash is simply human greed. So the reason why we are losing our forest is simply human greed. Now the next thing is, the shop dash is owned by my uncle's friend. So the shop where you saw the old book is owned by my owned by my uncle's friend. Now students, normally the relative clauses are of two types. One is defining and the another one is non-defining. Now what is the difference between defining and non-defining? Well, the relative clause which adds the meaning to the sentence and which is necessary, right? Normally एक sentence में एक से ज़्यादा clause होता है और उसमें एक main clause होगा और दूसरा relative clause होगा. तो ये relative clause अगर main clause के लिए necessary है, then it becomes a defining clause. And when the main clause doesn't need any other information, या फिर जो information दी गई है वो main clause से related नहीं है, ठीक है? अगर जो information दी गई है वो आपके main clause के लिए या फिर आपके sentence के लिए ज़रूरी नहीं है, which is not essential, then that relative clause can be considered as non-defining. और normally non-defining जो clause होता है उसको हम commas से अलग कर देते हैं, ठीक है? We use commas to identify the relative clause which is non-defining. Okay, let's see over here. All relative clauses in the sentence are not essential. Some of them simply give additional information. Right? कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती है जो सिर्फ additional होती है, not necessary. Right? And so it is divided into two. Relative clauses which are essential in order for the sentence to convey its entire meaning are called defining relative clause, and the relative clauses which only provide additional information are called non-defining relative clause because they are not essential to the sentence. Okay, और उसको हम commas से अलग कर सकते हैं. Now यहाँ पे जो exercise है, we need to combine the sentences using a relative clause. अभी आपको ध्यान में रखना है कि वो रिलेटिव क्लॉज डिफाइनिंग है या नॉन डिफाइनिंग है, ठीक है? और उसके बेसिस पे कॉमास यूज़ करने हैं. जैसे कि पहला एग्जांपल है, आर्थर कॉनन डॉयल वाज बोर्न इन एडिनबर्ग. ही क्रिएटेड शर्लॉक होम्स. नाउ ये जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है, ही क्रिएटेड शर्लॉक होम्स, दैट इज़ एडिशनल, राइट, एंड उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, इसीलिए हमने उसको बीच में रखा है. एंड वी हैव पुट द कॉमास ऑल्सो. आर्थर कॉनन डॉयल, who created Sherlock Holmes, was born in Edinburgh, right? So this is our relative clause. Let's see the second one. Our school ordered the complete works of Conan Doyle over the internet. It took nearly 4 weeks to arrive. So here the answer would be, students, the complete work of Conan Doyle, right, which our school ordered. Conan Doyle के बाद कॉमा करना है, which our school ordered, then again comma, over the internet, sorry, ordered over the internet, then you have to put the comma over here, sorry, and then took nearly 4 weeks to arrive. That means the answer would be the complete works of Conan Doyle, which our school ordered over the internet, comma, took nearly 4 weeks to arrive. Let's see the second one. The librarian invited all of us to come and look at the new books. He was the happiest man in the school that day. So this information is extra, so we can write the librarian, comma, who invited all of us to come and look at the new books, again comma, was the happiest man in the school that day, right? So this is our relative clause. Third one, Sherlock Holmes is one of the most famous figures in detective fiction. His stories were made into plays and feature films. So Sherlock Holmes, whose stories, right, we would be writing Sherlock Holmes, comma, whose stories were made into plays and feature films, comma, is one of the most famous figure in detective fiction. So our relative clause over here is whose stories were made into plays and feature films. And you are going to put the comma because it is non-defining relative clause. Holmes is a tall, thin man with a lean, narrow face. His power of deductive reasoning are incomparable. So students, we can write Holmes, comma, whose powers of detective reasoning are incomparable, comma, is a tall, thin man with a lean, narrow face. Next one, Sherlock Holmes was a real person. Many people in the world think this. So here, many people in the world think that Sherlock Holmes was a real person, and there won't be any comma because it is defining relative clause. Let's see the next one. Holmes had a good friend in Dr. Watson. It is Dr. Watson's task to keep a record of all the Holmes adventures. So whose task it is? It is Dr. Watson's task. So we can write Holmes has a good friend in Dr. Watson, whose task is to keep a record of all the Holmes adventures. And this is defining relative clause, so we are not going to put comma. And the last one, Professor James Moriarty is Holmes' archenemy. He is as sharp and clever as Holmes himself. So this is not necessary, right? This information which is given over here additionally is not necessary. So we can write Professor James Moriarty, who is Holmes' archenemy, is as sharp and clever as Holmes himself. तो यहाँ पे जो हमारा रिलेटिव क्लॉज होगा वो है who is Holmes' archenemy, ठीक है, और उसके बाद कॉमा लगाना है और प्रोफेसर जेम्स मोरियार्टी के बाद, ठीक है. सो दैट इज़ योर रिलेटिव क्लॉज एंड इट इज़ नॉन डिफाइनिंग. So students, I hope that you are clear with all the exercises. The last one is the exercise which you need to do it by yourself. I have already given the sample answers to you. You can write that. And diary entry also we have learned. So you can write the diary entry in this worksheet by yourself. Thank you.